What's going on, wrestling fans? You have stumbled upon WrestlingRumors.net for our annual and every single monthly pre-show, and of course we do it before every Monday Night Raw. It is wrestling warm-up. We love hanging out with you guys, and I say annual because this is now the third time we've done a pre-show for Money in the Bank. That's right. Since 2013, we have been in business doing things for you guys because you guys are the ones that watch. You are the ones that read. I mean, we do this for you. There's no other reason for us to do it. If you're not watching, there's no point in us doing this. So thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with us in the chat room, on Twitter, and everywhere else that you can. Please hop in our chat room that's on WrestlingRumors.net. If you're watching this on YouTube, there's a chat bar there on the side. Use it. Feel free to comment on whatever. Of course, in the actual WrestlingRumors.net piece, the featured article on the site right now is this video show where some of us from the website, the staff, the great writers and minds and voices of WrestlingRumors.net, when we talk about what's going to happen tonight on Money in the Bank, what we foresee happening, what we could see coming out of all this stuff that's supposedly about to take place on the WWE Network and selected cable pay-per-view outlets. Get in our chat room, and we want to hear from you guys. We want to hear what you think may happen tonight. We also want to hear your thoughts on Twitter and wherever else we can get it. Just please just talk to us. There's apparently some video issues. If you refresh your feed, it should work. YouTube's been having some crazy issues lately, so just refresh. You'll see us in beautiful color and in HD. Myself, Doug McDonald, thank you. Again, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here joining us tonight as we talk about Money in the Bank. Coming up here in about an hour with the kickoff show. Adam Daly is also joining us. What is happening, my good sir?
What's going on? Hi, how's everyone doing tonight?
Can't complain, my friend. Cannot complain. I know this. There's an empty spot in your chair. Where's your lovely wife? Where's Sam?
She'll be here for the post show. That's why we made the video with all her picks. But
right.
Yeah, she won't be with us for this show, but she'll be on the post show.
All right, and of course, Mr. Alex B. Song joining us from your neck of the woods, Mr. Daly.
Yes.
Both of y'all are in the same area. What's going on?
I'm stoked for Ryback's first and probably only title defense tonight.
Yeah, enjoy it while it lasts, my friend. I think that's one of the only picks that we all actually.
Which is a bad sign.
Right, it's always a bad sign. Usually when we all pick someone, it's about 50-50 chance. If we all pick someone to win, that person does not win, or it's an obvious win. So for us tonight, we obviously all think that Ryback is going to go over in the match with Big Show, and we'll talk more about our predictions in a minute. Guys, I was out of town. I didn't see Raw. I didn't get to see SmackDown this week. I had no Wi-Fi. I had no cable connection. It was just I was camping out in the wild. It was awesome, good time. But I didn't see anything. So I got back here late Friday and did some research, at least looking at what went down on the shows. But overall, how were the programs? I know that you probably watched Raw there, Mr. Daly. You had to do a Raw review. I did catch that. But reiterate on here what you thought of the show Monday night.
I thought it was all right. It wasn't. I don't know. It's tough with how we've had a pay-per-view, basically the Fallout show, the Go Home show, a pay-per-view, the Fallout show. So it doesn't seem like a lot of the storylines have been too fluid. But at the same time, we mentioned this on the video Sam and I taped. It seems like all the chaos is kind of starting to piece together. Like Monday, I didn't think Raw was the best Raw by any means, but I think they planted the right seeds for maybe something to happen at this pay-per-view. So.
And by that you mean what?
I think they were at least a little more consistent with Roman Reigns, with Dean Ambrose, putting a little more focus on them guys. There was a little bit more of a split between Rollins and the Authority. Obviously, Cena Owens was lights out, as always. It seemed like there was a lot of, I don't want to say filler matches, but it didn't seem like they hit a lot home with the storylines, at least from what I remember. But a lot of them, the storylines, it seems like there's really isn't much to them, and we just had a pay-per-view 2 weeks ago, right. So there's really not much to build up or deflate, so to speak. So I just felt like it was kind of not a thrown together Raw. It was all right, but it definitely had a lot of good moments. R-Truth might have had the funniest moment in a long time on a Raw. But
dude, I hate that I missed that because dude's entertaining. We've been talking about the fact that he's so entertaining. Mm-hmm. And that we're happy he's getting a little bit of a spot, or at least where he was in the Elimination Chamber. And now, of course, and he got the pinfall over Barrett. Now we've got this kickoff match tonight. We'll go ahead and start there. Adam, your thoughts of the kickoff match? We have King Barrett going against R-Truth. Who do you have going over and why?
I picked R-Truth simply because until King Barrett wins consistently, I can't pick him. And it's almost like with Truth on Monday night, it was one of those where he got a really good, a really positive response from the crowd out of that bit. I don't know, it just feels like Wade Barrett's back to the pre-show fall guy.
And it's such an awful place for him. I mean, it's such an awful place. You just gave this guy the Money in the Bank, or not the Money in the Bank. You just gave this guy King of the Ring, which, you know, it's kind of like we always say the Money in the Bank is basically the new King of the Ring. It kind of lets you know who the company is behind going forward as possible title contender. And we thought, you know, even though the last couple times, or at least the last time with King Sheamus, it kind of didn't pan out the way that we thought it would. You know, and King Regal didn't pan out the way we thought it would either. King Booker was the last successful run as the King gimmick, and now we have King Barrett. Based on what do you think about this thing, man? It gets the King gimmick, which we thought would kind of reinvigorate a little bit of steam for the guy, and he's just losing every single week. I think we've lost B-Song, actually. So my thoughts are that, you know, he's losing every week, which is okay. B-Song, are you back with us?
Yeah, I think I am. It just faded in and out real quick.
Yeah, your thoughts, King Barrett.
I think like eventually he has to win, even if it's just on pay-per-view, so to speak. I think I just don't. On this pick, but I just think they'll finally put Barrett over.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I definitely picked I picked King Barrett via pinfall. The only people that did not, which I have to give Will Benson. I know you're probably watching WB since it's not too late over there just yet. You killed in predictions last 2 weeks ago, which is amazing. Will Benson punished in picks at the last pay-per-view, which was really awesome. He usually gets 2
He's not
right.
dead last.
He got 9 right 2 weeks ago, which is I just have to do this for Will. Very good, sir. Very good. Will and Adam pick R-Truth via pinfall. Everyone else is picking King Barrett, and probably for the same reasons that B-Song was saying. He's losing consistently. It doesn't hurt. The thing is, I theoretically, honestly thought Barrett could have a chance at being the first British WWE champion. And then I consistently see him getting thrust into storylines and angles like this, and I go, I don't think Vince wants a UK WWE champion while he's still alive. Because at what point, when this guy is now in probably the best shape of his career, you know, coming back after the shoulder injury, which hurt him because he was going to get a push as the IC champion there, had the shoulder injury. This was the second injury he's had, and we know if you have multiple injuries, Vince, you kind of get on Vince's bad list, especially when he's about to give you pushes. And now that he's on this kind of blacklist, it sucks because the guy is super talented. Obviously, can get over with his mouth on the stick. He's very entertaining. And now we're stuck with him facing R-Truth on a kickoff show. It was either going to be, I mean, think about it. A year and a half, 2 years ago, it was Barrett and Miz over and over again in the kickoffs. And then it was Usos until the Usos got over. And now we're going back to Barrett and the kickoff shows with R-Truth, who Killings hasn't done anything since he, you know, outside of Awesome Truth has done nothing since his return to the WWE from TNA in 2008. So I'm just very weary of where this is going to go for Barrett. But I'm with B-Song. I'm with everybody else outside of Will Benson and Adam Daly. I think Barrett gets the win here because it's a kickoff match and it's not going to hurt. I mean, I know that they usually like to put the baby faces over in the kickoff show, but you know, a kind of heel crowd tonight, and you know, a heel biased crowd kind of tonight, and then you have, you know, Barrett lost first in the Elimination Chamber. He was the first person pinned by R-Truth. I can't see him, as weird as it sounds, I can't see him laying down for R-Truth again this week. I could be wrong. I could totally be wrong because we really don't know where WWE's taking Barrett at this point. But I don't see him losing again tonight. I just don't. I don't know if I would literally think that something really is going on in the back with Barrett and McMahon if he lays down for Truth clean tonight. That's all I have to say about that. There's something wrong. He's got some backstage politic issues if that happens. Moving after, going on to the main card, we have a Divas Championship match. Let's go ahead and talk about this, get this out of the way, because this has been one of the most confusing and worthless feuds I have ever laid my eyes upon when it comes to Divas stuff. We're now in the situation of where, obviously what Kevin X said about the fact that Vince does not see face or heel divas. Obviously, this is the case with how many times we're saying. It's fun. It's like there's two different groups. It's the divas that he sees that with, and Big Show. Because I don't know if anybody else that's turned heel or face more. The Bella Twins and Big Show. It's just a constant switch back and forth because I just feel like Vince is just like, he's a giant. He can move back and forth, and it'll work until the day he retires. And then with the Bellas, it's like, when they're popular, they're still bitchy enough to be able to turn heel whenever they want, and it'll work. And I can't argue with that because that's how they're portrayed on television. But at the same time, it's just frustrating because you just turned Naomi heel. For what? You just had her and Tamina team up together. For what? They're not even in this. They're not even going to have a match tonight. Which just makes zero sense. You have them turn heel. You have the Bellas go from heel to face. And then when Paige returns, well, all right, Naomi, you're out. Paige is back in because she has a movie about to come out, and we need to promote her and get her back in. She was the most popular diva aside from the Bellas. So let's bring her back into the forefront, and let's turn the Bellas immediately heel again. 2 weeks later. I don't get it. I don't understand it. B-Song, tell us who you have going over in this match between Nikki Bella and Paige, and tell me why you picked what you picked.
Yeah, I honestly don't get any of this either. I picked Nikki via pinfall, I believe, because they're not going to change the title this first singles match between Nikki Bella and Paige. Like you said, I don't know why they even bothered to turn Naomi heel and align herself with Tamina Snuka if they're just going to end up turning the Bella Twins heel. I understand that it might be some total divas thing, but if I recall, Naomi's on that show or used to be on that show, so I really don't get it, but I think Nikki Bella is going to win clean.
Somebody else that picked Nikki Bella clean was, of course, Chris Walter, who's now joining us. What's up, my friend?
What up, homies?
How is Toronto?
I got ice cream. I don't care how Toronto is right now. It's actually pouring rain outside, so it's a crappy day here in the T-Dot, but whatever. I got my confetti cake ice cream. Life is good. Money in the bank. We got some NBA tonight. Game of Thrones Sunday is packed, baby.
Yeah, I mean, how are you going to watch everything?
I can multitask, man. I'm the Swiss millennial of WrestlingRumors.net. You know it.
Yeah, there you go. See, it's pouring down rain in South Carolina too. It's just a rainy day. I don't know what else to. It was bright and sunny earlier, and about half an hour ago it just started thunderstorming. I didn't know if the internet was going to hold up. Obviously, it did. We're here, but it's been pouring down rain for the last at least 30, 45 minutes. So I feel your pain. Nikki Bella via pinfall, Walter.
She's breaking AJ's streak. That's why she's going to win tonight. I'm telling you. And besides, if she does lose the title, which could be before, I don't know. I'm just assuming WWE wants to erase AJ from the record books. But if they don't, it's going to be an NXT diva to take the belt off of her. I don't see any point of having Paige defeat her, because who does Paige challenge after that? Is it going to be just Nikki for the next several months? Is it going to be Brie? Not a lot of heels right now. You don't want to see Paige versus Naomi again. That's lost a lot of thunder. Bring up somebody from developmental.
But I just I don't know. Adam, your thoughts? You picked Paige via DQ, which I went with the disputed finish as well. You tell me why you picked via DQ, and then I'll go into my spiel.
I just think they're going to extend this out a little bit longer, at least till the middle of next month, the next Battleground. Past that, same reasons what Walter was saying, man. I honestly think that they're keeping that title on her until she beats AJ Lee's record. She'll get the new record, and she'll drop it to somebody coming up from NXT like Charlotte or a Sasha Banks. Yeah.
I'm completely behind you. I think if she makes it to SummerSlam, she does beat AJ Lee. I could be wrong on that, but she was at like 234 or 235 2 weeks ago, right?
Uh-huh.
So if she goes another, well, she's gonna have to go to like Survivor Series. That'll be well. How long was AJ Lee's? It was over a year, right?
Nah,
It was a little under a year. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So she may have to go to like September.
Which right now, with the way the Divas division is just stagnant anyway, is anyone even going to notice if another 2 or 3 months passes and she's still champion? I don't think any of us will even notice. It'll just be like, whatever. She still got the title.
Absolutely not. But I went with the DQ as well. I think they set this up 2 weeks ago in Raw. We saw Twin Magic, which I can't believe still works. With Nikki being so much thicker and more tittier, and everything about her is not the same as Brie. I don't know. She's got 2 huge reasons to acknowledge that she's not. They don't look exactly the same anymore. There's two big reasons. So I don't understand how the referees are still and the worst thing is that you have Michael Cole and Paige, or not Michael Cole and Paige. You had Michael Cole and who was it that acknowledged that what diva was out there? Why am I blanking on this?
For who? What?
Saying that the referee must have been blind because of Twin Magic.
Oh, I have no idea. Well,
there was a diva out there. I don't remember who it was.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it was Naomi. I don't remember. Somebody was out there 2 weeks ago when Twin Magic happened, and they called the ref blind because it obviously happened right there. Michael Cole buried the referee as well for saying that Twin Magic happened, and how could it happen when he's this blind? It's ridiculous. I don't know how this still happens, but I think maybe they could go with try to pull the whole Twin Magic thing out again. Hey, there's something called the Dictionary, JBL. There's something called the Dictionary, Ed, and there's just words in there that I just make up and come up with on the spot. Tittier is one of those. It's an adjective. You can find it in the Dictionary. But
hold on, boys. But one second, I just want to throw a theoretical thing out there because I love posing questions to you guys. Percents, I want to see what the odds are because they've been doing this on Instagram a lot lately. Is there any chance we see those 4 girls in NXT come up together, the 4 horsewomen, so to speak?
I would love it. I wouldn't be mad at it.
Because don't you think, because they've really stalled on Charlotte's debut. She was ready 6 months ago, and maybe they're they're going to bring everyone up together because it's so hard to debut women one at a time. Why not bring them all up at once?
I mean, you could. But
there's only 3 people in the division right now. It's Naomi, Paige, and Nikki. Brie doesn't count. She's whatever. So why not bring them all up?
You could, but then you're leaving a huge gap on Wednesday nights. You're leaving a big hole in the NXT women's division. If you bring
he can still work there. Kevin Owens is.
Yeah, but for a month, and then he's done.
They work a taping, and then they can build up some new girls.
I think they need at least Becky and Sasha down there for a little bit longer. And maybe Bayley. I don't see Bayley, especially not if they do if they turn Bayley heel and do the whole 4 horsewomen thing as a heel gimmick for women, like the 4 horsemen were, all about it. And the 4 horsewomen being Charlotte led, just like the 4 horsemen were. Ric Flair was the main dude there. I see the I see the parallels. I see the awesomeness of it. It could sell a lot of merch. It could be awesome for the women's division. It could rejuvenize the women's division. I'm all about it. But I think that they need to build up the women in NXT a little bit more. I mean, the people coming up underneath those 4 women. I mean, you got Bayley, Lynch, Banks, and Charlotte. If you take them out, all you have is Alexa Bliss, and she's just now starting a heel run that needs to get a little bit more underneath there, so she can start doing some singles matches outside of doing the tag stuff she's doing now. And Blue Pants, that's it.
Well, Carmella.
You got Carmella, who's not awesome at ring work right now. She's learning. She's progressing. You have Dana Brooke, who's also pretty green. Eva Marie is just now about to re-debut in NXT as either a heel. She needs to be a heel with the way that the fans are treating her. And you got all these green girls that are going to have to build up. And I think working with someone like Charlotte, working with someone like Sasha for a little while would help those girls, and then bring them all up. It sucks.
To be fair,
at some point we will see the 4 horsewomen on the main roster.
To be fair,
debuting them all at the same time, I don't know if that's going to happen.
To be fair, Charlotte, when she first debuted in NXT, she was green as hell, and now look at her.
She totally was, but she obviously had an advantage about who could be training her, who she was learning from. Her brother Reed taught her a lot of in-ring stuff before he
Very
passed
true.
away. She had a lot of advantages that some of those girls don't. Now, I mean, they have people like the Brian Kendrick training them. But you have to say, and of course, it's, what's her face, Sarah Del Rey, doing some awesome stuff. Like that's awesome. But they're gonna need some time with some established women in the ring. I think they to go back to the match itself. I think Paige wins via DQ, so that the title stays on Nikki, and Paige gets a victory after being screwed 2 weeks ago. Maybe the ref catches the twin magic this time. That's where the DQ comes from. But I'm saying a disputed finish. I don't think it's gonna be clean. Will Benson thinks Paige gets the title via submission. John and Frank are with you guys. They think he and Joe believe that Nikki Bella will retain via pinfall. Sam, who's not joining us but will be on the review show with her husband there after the pay-per-view, Sam also picks Paige via submission and a clean victory. But that's it. Man.
I don't want Nikki Bella to lose. I just want to see Nikki Bella lose.
I hope everybody could see that. I just got there as soon as you were putting it down.
That's all I've heard all weekend is I want Nikki Bella to lose.
Of course, because your wife
is. You guys know what I listen to.
She is the most anti-Bella person I've ever met in my life. I believe that those women should be castrated and not allowed to reproduce, but at the same time.
Well, Nikki had Kevin Owens' kid, right?
That's right. I mean, I saw that picture this week. That was impressive photoshopping. I don't know who pulled that out, but that was really, really awesome stuff. I think that you could have something interesting come of a 4 horsewomen stable on the main roster. I just don't think that the debut is going to happen with all of them together. Continuing talking about the card before the kickoff show starts in 40 minutes. Here you go, and I'm going to give you all the time in the world to talk about your boy B-Song because it looks like you're actually coming through pretty good now on camera.
I'm back.
So the Ryhack's going to be defending his IC title for the first time on pay-per-view against the Big Slow. So this match should be a 5-star Dave Meltzer bout, if I've ever heard of one in my life. So you tell us why this is going to be the greatest match of all time.
Because if you recall what Roman Reigns faced Big Show, we all thought the match was going to blow. It was actually very good. You have to admit that was a very good match.
It was
correct?
A good match for a last man standing match.
It was. See, that's what I think. This will be a good match.
But they had something to work with. They had.
I know, but that's going to make this match that's going to make this match that much better because there's going to be nothing to save Ryback, but in the end, in this 7-minute match, you're going to be like, wow, that was a lot better than I expected.
7 minutes is too long.
That's way too freaking long. It's going to go at least 7. It may go 12, and I will lose my mind.
12? Oh, my God.
Right, exactly. Well, we're going to have the Divas go 20?
I'm telling you, too. I would
Hell
be surprised if Ryback...
More Nikki.
Adam, I mean, obviously all of us picked Ryback to win via pinfall. He's not going to win this title in Elimination Chamber and drop it to Slow. There's no need for Slow to win this thing. So Ryback wins, but what's your opinions on this match?
I'll be in the bathroom, so it'll be a rough one to cover on the post show.
You're going to be taking a big Slow yourself?
You're right. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I get it. It's going to be 2 big guys, 2 brawlers, kind of going at it. But at the same time, I don't know. To me, this is the least sexy match on the card, if I can use that term.
And Nikki Bella is defending a title, and this is the least sexiest match on the card.
Yeah. How bad is that?
Pretty awful. Big Slow.
Ryback has a very good physique. I don't want to hear that. Maintains it too. Weekly. Have you seen the interviews this guy does? The way that he can maintain a tremendous stature and physique is amazing.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Can
Keep
I
it in
just
your
say
pants,
something?
B-Song.
Feeds himself more every day.
For everybody that always wants to say that I'm either a Jericho or a CM Punk mark, B-Song, brother, you blow me out of the water when it comes to that. just get it.
And there are people in the chat room asking us some questions about the IC title. Did Rusev Did Rusev's injury have a say in what's happening here? Well, it was supposed to be Sheamus, and they changed that last minute. I don't know why they changed from Sheamus. They changed completely from having a big brawling heel win the IC title, to a face, and I'm almost positive they did that so that Daniel Bryan could give the rub to a face like Ryback, because Daniel Bryan otherwise would not be presenting the belt to Sheamus without starting a future program with Sheamus. Like that's not going to happen. So Ryback got the little bit of rub there. So you got a little bit of a face-on-face deal where it gives a little bit more. Hey, people love Ryback. He's a title holder finally. This is his first title. Like he has not held 5. Shut up, B-Song. He has not held any other title. This is his first title. So they gave Bryan this opportunity to try to give this guy a rub just by handing him the belt, raising his hand, giving him respect. I don't think Rusev was going to win the title. I really, really don't. I really think it was supposed to be Sheamus, and they flopped it because of Bryan and wanting to get Ryback over solidified. Yeah, I would have to say, Ed, I completely agree. I think one of the things that I did see from little clips and stuff from Raw and from SmackDown, I did see Ryback shell-shock Big Show already, which kind of just makes me go, okay, he can do it. Why do your finish before the pay-per-view? Which was probably like the intriguing part of this match. With we've seen him pick up Mark Henry, we've seen him pick up guys like this, and of course he struggled at WrestleMania picking up Mark Henry. He did much better the second time around. But at the same time, you have that's your finish. Like that's the finish of the match. And you went ahead and did that on free TV. So there's not a lot of intrigue in this one, and that's why Adam's going to go and take a big slow during it, because it is what it is. It's two big dudes that move very, very slow in the ring, that both should be respected for their love for the business and for what they've or for what Big Show's done over the last 20 years. You got to give him credit for that. That's cool. He's at a place in his career where he's got like 6 more years on his contract, but nobody wants him to wait that long. Everybody wants him to be gone already. And of course, Ryback's Ryback, and you either love the guy or you hate the guy with a passion. I can say that I've gotten a little bit more okay with his mic work outside of the whole. I hate the way he talks. I hate that he uses the hungry and feeding stuff all the time. It drives me nuts. If the guy would just be more real and be more like the big guy, like when he did the videos and stuff when he was hurt, I would be more interested. But he does the whole eating negatives and turn them into positives, which I'm assuming that he's crapping out rainbows if he's eating negatives and turning them into positives. But at the same time, I'm not a huge Ryback mark, just not. Moving on, we have tag team titles. New Day and the PTP. We have a couple people actually picked. We don't have any title change in our predictions here. Much like myself, Chris Walder, and Alex B-Song both have New Day going over by pinfall. But Frank Manzo and yourself, Adam, y'all have PTP getting the win via DQ here. What do you think's going to happen? Like, what do you think they're gonna do here? It's only Xavier and Big E because Kofi's in the Money in the Bank briefcase match. I'm assuming that Kofi will be out there, of course. But what do you foresee happening here to get the DQ over PTP?
Yeah, I mean, I put DQ down, but I could either see a DQ, a count out, then them just leaving. I think this is going to expand over, in at least another month. So I don't think New Day drops the titles, but they're going to have another match. It's the only way I could think was a DQ. I mean, we could go count out. We could go. I thought maybe pinfall, but because this is the first matchup, I don't necessarily know if they would get a rematch off that. And I think they want to continue this for at least another month. Or till the next pay-per-view, so that's why I just went with a DQ finish.
Guys, why do you think it's going to be a clean finish?
Because primetime players aren't going to win the belts. I think the New Day shtick as the tag team champions is hilarious, and I want to see them hold the belts for probably the rest of the year, because right now the tag team division is so sparse, especially now that you have Tyson Kidd out of the picture and Kid Zaro, and then you have the Usos, half of them is gone. I don't forget which one of them is hurt. But
Okay.
yeah, the primetime players, this is just filler. Go give New Day something to do, but there is no chance they're winning the belts tonight.
Peace on.
I think they're going to try and drag it out a little bit, which is why I could see potentially a DQ or count-out finish. I still think that they're just going to get a win via pinfall, try and sneak away with a win, maybe. I don't think Kofi will necessarily get involved because he's in the Money in the Bank ladder match, but he'll probably be ringside, so I think they're going to, just have them, again, just outnumber them.
You don't think they may try to do the old twin magic again with Xavier and Kofi because they look exactly the same?
I mean, they're better twins than the Bellas. I could see it.
Yeah, they actually do look
Kofi and Xavier do look more alike than the
They look
Bellas,
more
actually.
alike than the Bellas ones at this point. So it's whatever. At least the chest sizes are relatively the same. I could see the DQ because I do think this is going to go another pay-per-view. I think we're going to get this at Battleground again because I don't know who else in the tag division could step up and take on the New Day at this point. Maybe Lucha Dragons are going to get the chance at Battleground. Maybe. I mean, that's a B pay-per-view to be able to throw those guys in and see what they can do against these new champions that have been holding on to the belts for the last 4 weeks. But this could not. I hate it, and I again want to express our best wishes and a hope for a speedy recovery for Tyson Kidd. Wore the shirt in honor of him tonight. I really think that for Kidd, this couldn't have come at a worse time because they were locked into a really long program with the New Day. It was going to keep going for a while because Cesaro and Tyson Kidd had made this hashtag best team ever thing, and it was going really, really good for the guys. Like really, 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 really good. Best thing that these two guys have done maybe since they both hit the main roster, outside of maybe the Hart Dynasty at the beginning when it started. And then, of course, Tyson Kidd gets injured. It's a neck injury, and he may be out for almost a year. Almost a year. If it's a neck injury, because WWE is not going into detail about what this injury is. I mean, they're not going to. But at the same time, when you look at neck injuries in the past, like Stone Cold Steve Austin getting dropped on his head, when Edge had to have his neck fused, these guys were out for a year with neck surgery almost. Austin was doing in-ring appearances, but he didn't get back in the ring and do anything for 8 months after he had his neck done. Or he was gone for a year, just about a year, 11 months in 2001. So when the neck fusions happen, if it is his neck and he has to have the surgery, he's gone for a year. So this could not, as suck as that is for Tyson Kidd, this is awesome for primetime players because these guys showed out in the Elimination Chamber match. Titus O'Neil was an absolute beast and got people to get behind him in the match. Their finish is great. And they've done really excellent mic work backstage in their little promo segments. This is the best thing that could have happened for primetime player. Because honestly, without this tag team coming back together, Titus and Darren were on the fast track to getting cut come firing season here in the next couple weeks. I honestly think that this could go for another month, and I could see the DQ, but I went with the New Day clean just because I think maybe a roll up. I think maybe something as quick as the twin magic again with Kofi and Xavier, because this is how they're, even Michael Cole's getting them mixed up legitimately, which is, you call us racist. There's no other reason for Xavier and Tyson to have, or Xavier and Kofi to have similar hairstyles at this point, except for using it in the twin magic. And of course, Kofi can do that because he'll be at ringside and out of the picture, kind of thing, because he's got a appearance in the Money in the Bank. The rematch for tonight: John Cena, the United States champion, versus the NXT champion versus champion yet again, Kevin Owens. We've seen, if you haven't seen the fact that the NXT's been on the road doing some house shows. Freaking Kevin Owens is defeating Samoa Joe and Tyler Breeze and Finn Balor and triple threats and four ways and beating them clean with pop-up power bombs. I mean, I waffled back and forth on what the finish to this match was going to be because I think it's in the air. I'm not gonna argue with anybody that says Kevin Owens is going to win via pinfall. I'm not going to do it because they're gonna keep this guy on a hot streak. Period. I could see it, and I almost picked it, but just knowing John Cena, the old formula would be John Cena wins the return match via pinfall, clean. I couldn't pick that either. So for me tonight in this match, before you all get to your thing, John Cena wins via DQ, and I'll tell you why. They're booking this like Brock Lesnar. And the last time, like, they want Kevin Owens to be a legitimate badass like Brock Lesnar, but he's going to be there every week. It's not going to be he's there every now and then. They're going to legitimately build Kevin Owens up to be like Brock Lesnar, but he's a real dude who's there every week. And until he loses the title to either Finn Balor on July 4th or to Samoa Joe at the next NXT TakeOver, he's not losing a match on the main roster. It's just not going to happen. And if he does, it's going to be via DQ. It's going to be a disputed finish. So John Cena via DQ tonight. Maybe Kevin legitimately gets himself DQ'd on purpose, or he just obliterates John Cena to the point where the ref stops the match. Of course, on NXT, that's a win via knockout, and on the main roster, it's a DQ win for whoever's on the opposite side of the ring. Kevin Owens via pinfall. Will Benson picked that. And I think a couple of you other cats in this thing picked that. Chris Walter, you picked Kevin Owens via pinfall clean. Tell us why.
I learned my lesson from Elimination Chamber. That's why. But also, to be serious, of course, I just feel like, with the promos that Kevin Owens is cutting, saying he's a prize fighter, you don't maintain your prize fighter status if you get pinned cleanly in the middle of the ring. And as far as the DQ finish is concerned, we don't even see that in NXT. And Kevin Owens is always going to be an NXT guy for the next 5 to 10 years. If he's still on the main roster, he'll always be NXT. And I don't think they want to taint what could be another match of the year candidate, because let's face it, I don't think there was, with the exception of the triple threat at the Royal Rumble, there wasn't a better match this year than Owens versus Cena at Elimination Chamber. So I think they want a clean finish. They know it's going to be a great match, and I think they want to break the stereotype that happens with all these John Cena feuds in terms of him, winning the second match and there being a rubber match where he eventually emerges victorious. I think Kevin Owens ends that tonight, and he beats John Cena with another pop-up powerbomb.
Be a huge rub. I'll give you that. Be a huge rub. B-Song, you picked via DQ like myself, so tell me why.
Yeah, I wavered a bit on this one because I could see them letting Owens just beat him clean again, but I think they're going to have this feud come to an end come Battleground in a third match. I think they're going to use a DQ finish to get there. I don't know if it'll necessarily be something where Owens is kind of on the ropes and therefore he cheats to either get himself out of the match. I'd rather them see him just, like you said, just be like that Brock Lesnar kind of figure, have him do what he did to Sami Zayn back at NXT TakeOver, but this time just get DQ'd. They're definitely not going to have him lose clean. I know some people might think, Cena's going to win because it's a formula. They're not going to go the typical route this time, but I think they're just going to utilize a DQ to get to the third match.
Yeah, for anybody, because I see it in the chat room, and I argued with people about this last week, not this past Monday, but the Monday before that. John Cena will not win clean tonight via pinfall. I'm sorry. I don't know what you think in your brain when you say that, but the way that they're building Kevin Owens up, I cannot see John Cena winning via pinfall. There's no way. John Cena understands the business a little bit better than that. I don't know how, you've got to build this guy up if he's going to be. Honestly, Kevin Owens has been on the main roster for one pay-per-view, right? He's been on the main roster for 4 weeks, and the guy is already the number 2 heel behind Seth Rollins. The number 2 heel.
And he's still the champion. You can't pin him. You can't pin an NXT champion.
Right. And they wanted Sheamus to be the number two heel. And look, Owens debuts, and immediately, because of his program with John Cena, jumps Rusev, Sheamus, King Barrett, all these guys that have been there on the main roster for a while. Kevin Owens is already there. Why bring him down with a John Cena clean win? It doesn't make any sense, and I think John Cena understands that as well.
You know what I was going to mention in my little spiel? What this feud reminds me of, and what it should end up being like, is the Shield versus the Evolution feud, where we thought that was going to go maybe another month or two as well, but then Evolution got swept in that elimination match, and all of us were like, you know what, that was the right thing to do. They put aside their egos, and they let the young guys over, who are going to be your stars for the next 5 to 10 years, get the glory. And I think that's what John Cena knows in this circumstance, that they have something special with Kevin Owens, and they cannot screw it up this early, so I think he'll do the right thing.
Yeah, and Frank legitimately feels like Cena's gonna win via pinfall. That's Frank is on that route, like sticking with the formula. If the formula doesn't break and nobody changes it, it's going to stay the same. So Frank's on that. Joe Omega thinks there's going to be a no contest, which is what I picked for the last match, and I'm not going to pick that again. But it could be a no contest or a DQ finish. I don't think either way goes clean. I'll be very pleased if Kevin Owens does win via pinfall, which is what you, sir, Mr. Adam Daly, you picked Kevin Owens via pinfall.
Yeah, I actually looked at it in a completely different way. I thought, what's gonna shock the world more, or what's gonna get people talking about Kevin Owens and John Cena more? And one of my buddies that lives up in Niagara Falls, he's kind of an in-and-out wrestling guy. It takes like a certain guy to get him in. Well, Kevin Owens he was about to just quit watching wrestling again, but Kevin Owens kept him in. I think we're to the point where Owens is that polarizing figure like John Cena, where you either absolutely love him or you absolutely hate him. And him going over Cena one more time is going to drive that fan base or the experts or the whomever that don't like Kevin Owens insane. What's your best form of publicity? People talking about you.
Yep.
For me, I think it's easier to sell. You need to convince people that Kevin Owens is a monster heel more than you have to convince people that he's actually a big-time player.
I agree completely. Part of me can't accept the fact that John Cena is not going to win somehow. I just don't think it's going to be clean in the ring with a pinfall. I think it's going to be via DQ. But I could see it. I will be pleasantly surprised if Owens wins via pinfall.
Cena will take a lot of heat from the IWC if he wins this match cleanly. And it's not going to be entirely his fault, but it's going to be, everyone's going to bring up Rusev, everyone's going to bring up Bray Wyatt, and then you're just going to add Kevin Owens to the mix, and you're going to say John Cena is a career killer.
Yep. They're going to start putting shovels in his hand instead of Triple H's.
Yeah.
So the Money in the Bank ladder match, which should just be called the Roman Reigns victory match. I don't know. Part of me feels like because they know every single person believes in their whole heart that Roman Reigns is winning this thing, that they just completely swerve us and give it to Kane. Do you know how much heat? Do you know how much awful heat the company would get if Kane won the briefcase tonight?
They're going to get it anyway if Reigns wins.
Oh, but no, I'm saying, like, if Kane wins, oh my God. Now, it is a heel crowd, so you're going to get a lot of boos for Reigns. It may be more 60-40 this go around. It's not the Royal Rumble. It's not Daniel Bryan's nowhere to be found in this thing. But you have Randy Orton, you have Neville, you have Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler's probably the dark horse because Dolph Ziggler's already won it and one time before, and I don't know if they're going to give it to him ever again. I could be wrong. They've done it multiple times to multiple people. It could happen. Kofi Kingston is someone who... Kofi Kingston and Neville, obviously nobody thinks those two are going to win this thing.
It would be hilarious if the New Day came out and tried to cash in all three of them.
I would
Come on, just for the sheer hilarity of it.
I would love it. Honestly, I would love it. It's funny how we all go, why did Brock Lesnar pick Kofi Kingston to face at July 4th? And I've heard so many marks on Twitter the past couple days. It's because Kofi Kingston's going to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. I want to throw something at the computer when I hear that kind of stuff. Kofi Kingston's not winning the Money in the Bank briefcase.
It would be so compelling, though. Like, come on. The New Day is the Money in the Bank holder.
Yeah, but you can guarantee when he cashes in, he's losing.
Who cares? It would be funny watching him cash in. Look, okay, first of all, Roman Reigns is winning this thing.
Yes.
And I wouldn't say Kane is the second favorite. I actually have Sheamus as the number 2 favorite in this match. I think with the way they've been building up in terms of the authority and like trying to screw over Seth Rollins and maybe cashing in at the end of the night, no, I think Sheamus is like a legitimate dark horse in this entire thing. But yes, continue going on.
Could be why they removed him from the IC title program.
Yes.
Just to swerve everybody, because Adam, you just like everybody else picked Roman Reigns to win this thing. Now I know that we've talked about it a little bit. There was a possible leaked poster for SummerSlam, which has Brock Lesnar face Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns' faces side by side, where it said Lesnar versus Reigns at SummerSlam. It looked legit. Now, it could have been awesome Photoshop, but it was a legit poster. It wasn't just a graphic. It was an actual piece of paraphernalia with these two guys' pictures on it. It looked really, really well done. If it wasn't, if it's not Photoshopped, then it's definitely legit. If this is the match that we get in August in New York, your little theory of Reigns maybe winning and cashing in at the end in a heel turn, like you and I have talked about the fact that they've been teasing this, like he's been super chummy with Dean Ambrose. He's been super smiley and more cheeseball than usual the last few weeks. Been super chummy. That's obviously usually indication of a heel turn coming. What do you think? You think that there's a possibility of Roman Reigns winning the Money in the Bank briefcase, turning heel, and coming in and snatching the, like maybe inserting either having Seth Rollins win or Dean Ambrose win the ladder match, and then Roman Reigns, boom, attacks and wins, or he maybe runs down, inserts himself into the match in a triple threat form like last time, knocks both guys off the ladder, goes up and grabs it himself. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I think he wins. I think they save the cash until next month, though. If we think they're setting up Triple H and Seth Rollins, to go against each other. But the reason why I think somebody has to turn is, whenever we were talking with Jimmy Corderas Monday night, he brought up a really good point. If Triple H is going against Seth Rollins and the Authority stays heel, then all three Shield members would essentially be face.
Right.
And they're not going to do that until they end up doing some sort of reunion or anything like that. Though you're always going to have somebody opposite the other two. So if Seth Rollins is going to be on the outs with the Authority, unless the Authority turns face, somebody got to flip. And right now, to me, it makes a hell of a lot more sense for Roman Reigns to flip than Dean Ambrose, because you finally have your anti-Authority figure back in Dean Ambrose. Make Roman Reigns the corporate kind of, Authority-style guy. Hell, you can put him in a suit, you know what I mean, for all we care. But I just think it's a smarter way to go. But I think the heel turn might happen next month at Battleground, because it might not, I mean, who knows at this point, but it might not be a free month, even though everyone is. But you make people pay to see the heel turn.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. I mean, to me, I think maybe if the heel turn happens at Battleground, you have people pay to see the first heel title defense at SummerSlam, which is against Brock Lesnar, which would be huge, and people would pay for that because they're not going to have August be free.
This could be another Jeff Hardy versus CM. No, it was a Jeff Hardy versus Edge scenario where Jeff Hardy beat Edge in the ladder match. Jeff Hardy gets his glorious moment, and then Roman Reigns with his Money in the Bank briefcase. You don't see it coming because Punk was still a face at the time.
True.
Roman Reigns comes out and cashes in on Ambrose.
Yeah,
and then that's your heel turn right there.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, if this does happen, my theory is that Ambrose pulls down the belt.
Yeah, he
pulls down the belt, and everybody pops like crazy because this time it's legit. Dean Ambrose is finally WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Boom. Cash in. Roman Reigns has destroyed his boy in the middle of the ring, and now Roman Reigns is the champion like he was supposed to be in March, and he's full on heel. Because I don't care what you do, when the fans get behind Dean Ambrose and lose their minds when he wins that title tonight, as soon as Roman Reigns' music hits to come cash in that Money in the Bank briefcase, the place is going to go nuts, and he is a full on heel after that. Full on heel. There's no way you can keep him as a tweener.
And let's be honest, this pay-per-view needs that so bad. This is like the least interesting in terms of because we've had some really great Money in the Bank pay-per-views the last couple of years. This doesn't feel anywhere near as special, but if Roman Reigns turns heel tonight, my goodness.
Yeah, and the funny thing was, if Dean Ambrose wins, Will Benson gets another pick right.
For the love of God, man, that guy picks the dumbest matches right.
But he got all of them right last 2 weeks ago. He got 9 points 2 weeks ago. He had the most out of anybody. I don't know what happened. He just turned something on. Alex, what do you think here? Do you think that Roman Reigns wins tonight and cashes in tonight?
I don't think it's going to happen tonight, but it wouldn't. I'd say there's a small percentage chance that it happens, but it would convolute a lot of things, because if you have Ambrose win the title and then you have Reigns cash the three guys who all have the championship, then you have Brock Lesnar, who's returning this month. He's going to return sometime in June. He's going to wrestle at Battleground. You have four guys right there who all have saves to the title. I don't think they're going to do that. I think Reigns is going to turn heel eventually, maybe within the next month or two, but I don't think they're going to do it tonight. It's just too soon. They're going to have that Lesnar versus Rollins match at Battleground, so they're not going to mess with that main event.
What if it's a triple threat? Battleground.
I could see that, but I just think they're gonna. I think they have the main event locked in with Lesnar going up against Rollins for the title.
I mean, it'd be interesting.
I could see. Battleground maybe, but not in a triple threat match.
The funny thing is, because we know Brock is literally due back tomorrow night on Raw, and we know that he is going, or at least Paul Heyman's due back tomorrow night on Raw. Brock is scheduled for the next Monday, the 22nd, and he is slated to face somebody, which the early promotions were Seth Rollins for the title at Battleground. If Lesnar and Rollins face each other at Battleground for the title, you got to think that Brock, maybe they hold off tonight and Brock beats Rollins at Battleground and Reigns cashes in then to take the title away from Lesnar. That's the only way that Lesnar can get from Battleground to SummerSlam in a title match. He'd be the #1 contender at that point because he'd have a rematch clause. Rollins wouldn't have the rematch at that point because the tides would shift. Where if Lesnar beat Rollins at Battleground, Rollins could initiate a rematch clause and get his rematch at SummerSlam. Then Reigns could insert and have a freaking triple threat at SummerSlam. I see that. Whatever. If it's just going to be Lesnar and Reigns, I don't know how we get there. Other than Battleground being where Lesnar beats Rollins, and then Reigns beats Lesnar with the cash-in, and then it's Lesnar that gets the rematch at SummerSlam, not Rollins.
But that if Reigns cashes in on Lesnar, that makes him heel too. Just because I think people.
Completely. There's nothing Reigns can do with a cash-in that does not make him heel.
Even Rollins.
I look at the fans. Like I'm saying, like if you come in and you cash in on Rollins tonight, I think the fans are still gonna be pissed that he wins.
Yeah.
So I think any cash in right now that's not against the devil is gonna be a heel turn for Roman Reigns.
And it should have happened a long time ago, so it kind of feels like this is the right time to do it. But now until forever is going to feel the right time to pull the trigger.
Yeah, I mean,
Let me ask two things. One, do you think that if Roman Reigns does turn, don't you think that he will get some kind of crowd pop from people that do want him heel? So I do feel like there's a group of people that want him heel, myself included. I'd pop if he went dark. I absolutely would.
I want him to go heel, and I think that him going heel will eventually. I mean, I've said this since Royal Rumble. I think that a heel turn will eventually get people behind him, and then you could turn him face organically. But at the start, people are going to hate his guts, and they're going to chant "You sold out," just like they did to Seth Rollins, and he's going to be a monster heel to the start. He has to berate the people, though. He can't just say you're going to love me or you're going to hate me. He has to get on the people.
That's the John Cena theory right there, where he turns heel and then everybody is a big John Cena fan because we've wanted this for so long, and now he's a bad guy and whatever. So maybe it'll happen to Roman Reigns.
Not the same, though, because freaking John Cena, the place would go nuts if he went heel. The place would go insane. The women and the women and the kids wouldn't have a chance getting their voices over the men cheering John Cena if he went dark, too. Which he was supposed to do twice. He was supposed to do it with The Rock, and then he was supposed to do it with Bray Wyatt when he was supposed to legitimately crack him in the head with the chair at WrestleMania and get a DQ and go nuts on him. Like that was supposed to happen. He's confessed to both things, which at the same time would have made crowds go nuts, and they didn't want John Cena's heel turn to happen on the same show as Undertaker's loss.
Yeah.
Which is just lame. So, it is what it is, man. We're going to see what happens. I really think that Roman Reigns could have a successful career if they go the whole Rock treatment and turn him heel, make him an authority figure, make him somebody that just,
Doug, we can't hear you, buddy.
Nope.
We're sick of Doug. And there goes Doug McDonald, ladies and gentlemen.
So, Chris Walter, do you think there's any possibility that Brock Lesnar somehow shows up at the pay-per-view tonight? A lot of people have been talking about it.
I was thinking to myself, like, if Lesnar did show up tonight, it would be incredible if, because he's returning from a suspension, if he interfered in the Money in the Bank ladder match and said, screw everybody, went up the ladder and pulled down the briefcase and held that hostage until somebody reinstated him, or at the very least gave him a world title shot. And I would be like, because, you know, we all said it a few minutes ago. We all expect Roman Reigns to win this thing. Maybe WWE, who is always completely aware of everything, understands that fans are expecting that and just gives us the swerve of a lifetime.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I just unplugged my mic and plugged it back in. I don't know what happened. I don't even remember what I was talking about.
Wrath of Ryback hit you.
Oh, yeah, it did. All the negatives. I got to crap out of a rainbow and make them positive. So this is the card. Like, this is, you know, do you think Brock Lesnar's going to show up, Adam?
I don't. I think it would be awesome, though, because, A, the crowd would be so hot for it. It's a great crowd to do it in. And, again, it's one of the things where it's a great way to sell the network. You know, you never know what can happen on the WWE network. And they got that. They got the live event coming in Japan at the very beginning of July. So that's another one. You know, if you haven't subscribed by July 4th, maybe something happens there, too, where it's like, that's why I keep thinking big picture with these on how they could really sell the network. And having Lesnar come in unannounced would absolutely be a reason for people to sign up, you know. I wish it would, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think it's going to happen. I think some kind of cliffhanger, though, like a Money in the Bank cash in immediately tonight would be something that could sell the next month and sell the upcoming special on July 4th. I don't think it's going to happen. I think you're going to get Seth Rollins pulls the belt down, and it's Rollins versus Lesnar at Battleground. I still think that's going to be the case. But I would be pleasantly surprised if Owens wins clean, Reigns wins the title, goes heel turn, and we get a different title match, and Reigns walks out champion. I would be pleasantly surprised, because then something interesting is going to make me want to watch tomorrow night. It's going to make me want to tune in. So that's the card. We have, of course, the kickoff show starting in 2 minutes on the WWE Network. Get over there, check that out. There'll be a match, maybe two. Maybe Stardust gets a match over somebody. Maybe it's Zack Ryder again. We'll see what happens there. He's the king of the unannounced kickoff matches, so I'm sure that we'll see Stardust versus somebody, especially with maybe not with Dusty Rhodes thing going on. Maybe they go a different route. But it would be nice to see Cody maybe come out with some polka dots or something to give a little honor to his late father, the great Hall of Famer, Mr. Dusty Rhodes, baby. Sad stuff, but I'm excited for the show tonight. Hopefully it'll be good. Obviously there's a couple matches we don't think it's going to be good, but we'll see what happens. Maybe as long as we're all getting some interesting Twitter interaction, we'll still be able to watch. Obviously, Walter's going to be watching 4 different things, so he's going to be all over the place anyway. But somebody like me gets to watch one thing at a time. And so I need you guys to follow us at WrestleRumors and live tweet with me so I don't lose my mind watching Ryback and Big Slow. I'm going to need some good interaction to keep me awake. I've been going since 5 a.m. Need you to make us excited for tonight's show. You can follow Chris Walter at Walter Sports on the Twit machine. Glass Mode ALB for Alex B song there. You can follow Adam Daly at Adam Daly 13, and of course make sure you catch him and his beautiful wife Sam, who's not in her chair tonight. You can check them out immediately after the pay-per-view right here on WrestlingRumors.net. There she is, right here on WrestlingRumors.net. I love the stand-in. You should have a poster of her behind you, not Jericho.
Probably.
Yeah. Of course, and she would love that anyway. But, you know, we got the review show right here on WrestlingRumors.net immediately after that, and then after the review show, you need to go check out Wrestle Reaction on WrestleReaction.net. I'm Doug McDonald. This has been Wrestling Warm-Up. We will catch you on the next one, which may be tomorrow night.
LeBron James.
We'll see. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. LeBron James Wiener, which, of course, was seen on TV 2 nights ago. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy wrestling. We'll catch you on the next one.